Hey everybody. So, normally I talk about audio, but for this video I want to talk about something important, a life lesson, if you will, especially for the younger crowd, and that has to do with shyness, success, and networking. Being a naturally shy person held me back for a long time. I had to force myself out of that shell, and I still don't think I'm 100% there, but it led to a lot of problems. Personally, my inability to get dates because again, I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid. I didn't know how to talk to strangers. And I look back and I'm like, I wasn't a bad looking guy. And I might not be the tallest anywhere near it. I'm that, and that might have been one of my biggest what do you call it, when you look at your own flaws, it holds you back. So my height definitely had something to do with it. Even when I was in my early 20s, I started losing my hair. I've always had a widow peak hairline even when I was in my teen years. So that didn't help. I had a lot of pimples, you know so that kind of thing, it makes it hard for you as a person to open up when you have those kind of flaws, or when you're so focused on them. And looking back, there was things I could have done to reduce the pimples, the hairline not so much. I mean, I was shaving my head even back then. Sometimes I would spike it up, but for the most part, I went with the crew cut for um, I would say starting around the age of 14. Not because I was balding, just because I liked the way it looked. Um, but shyness is just, it's something that can really hold you back. And like, you have to force it out. You have to force yourself to not be shy, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I think one of my other flaws was I definitely stutter because my mind works faster than my mouth does, and I'm always thinking ahead, and you kind of just aren't speaking in the moment. So if I slow my speech down, it does sound a little bit more confident. Of course, I get criticized for that too. Oh, you don't speak quick enough. Well, my name's not. Never mind. I won't say that. Um, but you know, networking is another thing. I didn't realize how important it was to get out there and go to these different types of events. Now, I was going to this local like filmmaker place, but it really wasn't my crowd. I'm more of a like documentary type, very technical. I like nonfiction. Was never a huge fan of shooting movies. I just kind of hate to say it. I thought it was a waste of time. Now I do like comedy movies, and maybe I should have got more into that, or horror movies. Um, but I enjoy the technical side of things more than anything. For whatever reason, I like color correction, and obviously audio mixing and composition, making sure things are in focus. um, so that type of role actually would have fitted me pretty well. I was definitely, most of the time when I was doing student productions when I was in college, nobody wanted to do audio. I don't know why that was, but there was two roles people didn't like: being the film loader, and that includes myself, and that's because we just didn't practice enough. You need to practice loading film first. You practice with loading the film onto the reel. I'm talking about real film, not tape. You practice with loading the film on the reels. You see what you're doing. Eventually, you upgrade to not looking down, or you're like looking up, looking down just a little bit, and then you're supposed to do it with the bag. But we didn't do that, you know. Or I should say, I didn't do that. So and a lot of people didn't do that. So what ended up happening? We did this student film, and the film got all messed up because it wasn't loaded correctly. Our film got destroyed. Big waste of time. And then you got to worry about checking the gate. Thank goodness film is no longer a thing. It was on its way out, and then once 4K became a thing, it was pretty much, that was the end of film. And if you want the film look, you can get that. Digital is just so much better. It's immediate feedback. Lookup tables are a great thing. I can go on and on, but also it's better for the environment. So as much as I do love film, it's just very expensive and time consuming. And again, if there's like one little piece of dust in your gate, it's a problem. So going back to shyness and success, like, look, you know how many people have told me, man, I'm glad I found you, because a lot of people, they talk a good game, but they really aren't about it. Like, they really don't know what the heck they're doing, and that's my problem. It's like, I know what I'm doing, but I just can't. I've had problems throughout my life connecting with people who need my services. And they've been through all the shysters of the world. The scam artists, the people that, again, talk a very good game, but when it comes down to it, they can't get it done. So it's like, how do you get yourself out there? And I'm still learning how to do that even to this day. And it's really just a matter of, again, going back to what I said earlier about dating. um, you can't be afraid of rejection. If you're contacting, it's two things: laziness, I'll be honest, laziness, and fear of rejection, fear that you're not going to hear back from these people, fear that um, you're going to waste your time. So if you're going to waste your time anyway, why not waste your time with something you enjoy? Because I don't know about you, I don't enjoy sending out all these emails, making phone calls, and then you don't hear back, or you get, oh no, we don't need your services right now. And then right now is basically forever. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not even going to tell you guys what I'm doing, because I would hate for me to have even more competition than I already have. But let's just say I'm just getting my work out there, and paying my dues, as it were. Something that I probably should have done 18 years ago. I was doing it to an extent, but not to the extent. I'll just put it this way: tools have changed as of late, and because of that, there were certain things that I was not showing. And this is an investment in my own life and business that should have been made many years ago, but I was being a cheapskate, and I was really, I think the time was right, because the technology wasn't fully mature, and things have improved a lot lately. There's always been like little nags that I didn't like about certain pieces of equipment, that's no longer the case. So I think the timing was right. One thing I do want is a DSLR with video. So I'm looking into doing that. Probably before the end of the year, I'll finally get one. A used one. I'm not shelling out $2,000 for a camera body like I did back in 2008 when business was a lot better. People are on such strict budgets these days, which I can't blame them. The economy is in the trash. But anyway, that's a whole other video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all learned something from this. Sorry it wasn't fancy with a lot of B-roll and all that. That's not my style. And I just want people who can benefit from this video and not be fooled by the algorithm to get this information, because I'd prefer that this information not get out there to thousands of people. As much as that would help with the ad revenue, the less people that hear these life tips, the better for me personally. But I just wanted to speak it out in a way to encourage myself as well. So thank you all. Get yourself out there. If you have to practice in front of a mirror, that's why I had the mirror behind me, kind of. Get in front of that mirror and practice talking, and get out there. If you're a very skilled person, there's people who need you, people who want you. They just need to know about you. Like Coke. Why do you buy Coke? Why do you buy Pepsi? Because you know their names. Well, get people to know your name. Get people to know your name, that you're skilled at something.